Hi everybody, welcome to video 7 in a series on the Ocean County Historical Society's newly renovated Birdsall Room. This brief video is focused on dirigibles in Ocean County, namely at our Naval Air Station Lakehurst. These videos, created entirely by our volunteers in the summer of 2020, are meant to give you just a feel for the expansive exhibit on the lower level of our museum. We do hope you will visit us in person, when possible, to see the full exhibit. Please always be sure to check our website, www.oceancountyhistory.org, for information prior to visiting. The Ocean County military installation, long known as Naval Air Station Lakehurst, now part of what is called Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, has a history of constructing dirigibles and blimps known as lighter-than-air ships. Dirigibles are rigid airships which contain an inner structure and a covering. They can be steered. They were usually filled with hydrogen gas, which is highly flammable. The famed Hindenburg was a dirigible. More on that in a moment. Blimps were also constructed at Lakehurst beginning in 1915. A blimp is a kind of balloon that can also be steered and is filled with a gas that is lighter than air, usually helium. The Lakehurst blimps were used throughout World War I for various convoy work and coastal patrolling. In the winter of 1919, construction began on the world's largest aircraft hangar, the first to be built in America. It would have a length of nearly 3 football fields and stand 224 feet high. The Barnegat Lighthouse could stand inside with 20 feet to spare. The construction of Hangar 1 was dedicated on June 28, 1921. Also in 1921, Lakehurst began to construct ZR-1 Zeppelin Rigid No. 1. On October 10, 1923, the ZR-1 was officially christened the Shenandoah at Lakehurst. On September 3, 1925, during a severe storm over Ohio, the airship broke apart and crashed. Of the 43 crew members, 29 survived. ZR-2, unnamed, was completed in June of 1921, interestingly enough, by Great Britain. It crashed on its 4th test flight on August 24, 1921. The 685-foot ZR-3 Los Angeles was constructed in Germany by the German Zeppelin Airship Construction Company and delivered to Lakehurst on October 15, 1924. It was retired from service in June of 1932 and dismantled at the start of World War II. Now, the ZR-4, Akron, was christened by Mrs. Herbert Hoover on August 3, 1931. It crashed into the Atlantic on April 3, 1933. The ZR-5, Macon, was christened on March 11, 1933. The Macon crashed in the Pacific Ocean on February 12, 1935. On display are various rare archival photos and artifacts from all of these dirigibles, for example, the piece of framing shown here on the right. Look up while in the exhibit and you will notice a large model of the Akron as seen here on the left. Other pieces on display include a section of the Shenandoah's nose, mail carried on airships, a chocolate mold of the Los Angeles, and a piece of the fabric from the Los Angeles. Probably the most famous dirigible to ever land at Lakehurst was the German commercial passenger airship, the Hindenburg. The Hindenburg was 680 feet long and could travel over 5,000 miles at a speed of 65 miles per hour. On May 6, 1937, attempting to land just after a thunderstorm that had moved over the tri-state area, the Hindenburg's hydrogen gas was ignited. Given the anti-Nazi sentiment of the time, sabotage was immediately suspected by some. Others suspected the cause was a simple spark of static electricity from the storms. Still others speculated that as the airship hovered over the area, waiting to land, a tight turn led to stress on the aluminum frame, which cracked and punctured a hydrogen tank. The Hindenburg Incident resulted in 36 fatalities. We have numerous artifacts from that historic day. Dirigibles and blimps would be used during the World War II era for various convoy work and coastal patrolling, but the technology soon became dated. The last lighter-than-air flight of the era took place on August 31st, 1962. We hope you have enjoyed this brief peek at our Birdsall Room exhibit, learning just a bit about famed dirigibles in Ocean County history and getting excited to come visit in person. We encourage you to watch the other videos in this series and, of course, visit us when you can. Remember to always be sure to visit our website or call for our latest availability.